Salutations, my stars. I hope you are all doing well. Okay, it's that time of week. Are y'all ready for the star card? Oh yeah. All right, Mr. Phil, do you want to help me out? Let's see. Oh, it says those who are outcasts. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Phil, for your help. Okay, so Miss A wants to let you know that if you are a person who does feel like they are outcast, which basically means that you kind of feel like you're alone, right? No matter what setting you're in, no matter what environment you're placed in, it just doesn't feel like you found your clique, right? Your set of people. You always kind of feel like you're a loner, and the things that you kind of like doing or like being around, you just can't seem to find other people who are liking the same things as you. And I want you to know that that's okay. I had a little story time here. I was working with some of my students, and we were just talking about like planets and stuff. And if you know Miss A, you know that I love everything about outer space. Now, will your girl ever go there? That's a different story. The answer is no. I'm okay where I'm at right here. But that doesn't mean that I don't have my own interest in things, right? And space just so happened to be one of those things. And my students who were around me started going all off about, oh yes, did you know, miss, about these planets, and you know what the names of these things are, and space is great too, but have you ever been underwater? And they started talking about implosion, when you see different things happen going under the water if the pressure gets too hard and too fast. And I was like, wait a minute, like y'all are talking about things that Miss A loved to talk about when I was a kid. But I didn't have many friends who enjoyed talking about those same things, right? Like, for the most part, I was just seen as the nerd who loved learning about planets and underwater things. And when I went to show my excitement, to tell people, what I wanted to let them know, all of the things that I found, all the books that I read. Let me go ahead and redo that. Not how many books I read, how many of videos that I watched, more so, right? How many pictures in the books that I would look at, more so than read them myself personally. But that ain't got nothing to do with it. The dyslexia took its toll, but I still got to have fun and do my own cool thing, right? Now, I know you may think this is so off topic, but the main thing I want you to get from this is I felt alone. I kind of felt like an outcast growing up, because all of the cool stuff that I was interested in, other people kind of said I was a nerd for, right? Like, they'd be like, oh, there she is talking about her stuff again. We don't know what you're talking about. We don't care about how many planets there are in the solar system. Like, it's not important. They had their own things going on. Now, could it been that they were just hating on Miss A? Probably, you know what I'm saying? People just go hate, you know what I'm saying? That's how it is. When you cool like me, when you got the swag like me, it just happens. It's inevitable. You know what I'm saying? Don't ask me to spell it. But I want you to know that it is okay to feel that way. All that means is you didn't find your people yet. And for some people, it's easy for them to go and find their people. Some people are way more extroverted than others. Miss A was an introvert growing up. And until we got to know each other. And then that's when the extrovertness came out. But I want you to know that you're not alone in feeling this way. One day, you will just be yourself and feel comfortable. And there'll be others around you who will come up to you and ask you about it. And your heart's gonna start beating a little bit, because you're like, oh, I'm excited to tell somebody's asking me about this. And in the back of your mind, you'll hear, oh, they don't want to hear about it. You know what I mean? All of this time you talk about certain things and your interest, and people act like they don't want to hear what you're talking about. Or maybe it's not an act. Maybe they really truly just don't want to hear what you're talking about. But you're going to find that group of people one day. Maybe it's not even a group. Maybe it's just that one person. And it'll be that one person who will change your whole mindset and make you feel comfortable enough to say, I can talk about this specific topic and feel comfortable. and feel happy, and they'll have something to say back, and we'll start a conversation. And that's how friendship starts. That is how you can start to do things, start to believe in yourself a little more, because you know that at this moment, I'm not alone. You know, I found somebody. And sometimes that somebody got to be yourself, because that's what happened with Miss A. I realized I'm a nerd, and the people that I was around really wasn't into that nerd stuff like I am. And I said, you know what, Miss A? Maybe I'm just too cool for them. Maybe I need to work on myself and being okay with who I am and just being myself. You know what I mean? No matter where I go, I don't have to let it subside. I could just be myself. And people will notice. And if they like it, right? They will start coming to me and wanting to become my friends, right? Because they knew who I am. I'm an open book. And if they want to read the pages, come on here and read. And maybe you can help Miss A, you know, with the Lexia and everything. But you know what? Being an outcast doesn't mean that you have to be alone. Because here, you can be an outcast and you can be a star. Because here, all of you are stars. And all of my stars are welcomed, cherished, and loved. So come over here and bring me all of the things that you want to talk about. Bring me all of your crazy ideas, all of the things maybe you just want to ramble on and feel like you don't have anybody who understands those interests, because Miss A may not know the interests, but I love learning. So if that's something you want to do and tell me about, I am so ready to be interested in the things that you have to say, because you're not alone. Outcasts, we got to find our own way. And here with Miss A, you can do that. So I hope you know that you are cherished, you are loved, you are welcomed, and Miss A cannot wait to see you be a part of her stars. So I hope you have a great day. Isn't that right, Mr. Phil? Phil! He thinks so too. Goodbye, everybody.
I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Goodbye, my stars.